the Historical Society, which almost closed down. This is, if you were looking and pass it on, it almost closed down in what's the date on there? And this lady that you'll see when they pass it around put her nose to the grindstone and worked very hard to start the society up again. And boy, did she ever work. Dorothy Preston is her name. This is her picture up here and her obituary. You can't thank her enough only because of her do we have this museum. We were at I have so many pictures, I don't know what I did with them now. When we first started out the Historical Society, we wound up over in the library because there was nowhere else to meet at that time. It lost interest and didn't come back around until about 4 or 5 years later, whenever Mrs. Preston took it under her wing, and oh, she did a wonderful job. She beat the bushes, and I met her, and I think she more or less adopted me, not because I knew so much, but because I was the youngest one, and she saw that maybe I could carry on the banner a little longer. So we were at the library, and then this building that used to be the City Hall and the library, right across the street from the City Hall now, was empty. And by chance, we found it out, and Bill Capehart, who was a wonderful member, and we'll see a picture of him a little later on, went to City Hall, said, we'd like to use it as our Historical Society building, and they very graciously said, okay. So we moved in there, and I'm going to tell you what, we cleaned it. We cleaned it, and we cleaned it. There's pictures of the cleaning somewhere. And we put carpet on the floor, paid for it. We put lace curtains on the windows, and we didn't have a thing to put in there because it was the first place we were. So Dr. Fuchs, the dentist here in town, donated an old, come in, Jody, a dental chair. Boy, that booger was heavy too. So we got it down, we got it in the building over there, set it up, and Mr. Nixon, who was the woodworker for Robert Judson, made us some shelves. And at this time, the president of the society was Dorothy Preston, naturally. And we had Opal and Wendell Bell. A lot of you won't know the people I'm speaking of, but I want to say their names so they'll know I remembered them. And started cleaning. So we were there about 2 years, 3 years, and there's plenty of pictures showing you what the place was like over here. I'm going to pass them around in a minute. So we stayed there for 2 or 3 years. And all at once, this building was empty. The police had decided they needed a different place. The police was in here. And so, again, we went to the city council and we said, could we use this building for the Historical Society? Well, Mayor Koch was the mayor at that time, naturally, and he said, sure. So, in we come. We didn't have a thing. But I can tell you that the police department is not a clean place to be because, this place was terrible. Just terrible. So we worked so hard cleaning everything up, got it all situated, and then we sent out letters telling people that we were here and that would they be interested in donating anything to the museum. We were flooded. As you will walk around, you will see different things. It was amazing. absolutely amazing. I still think about some of the things people gave us, and I'm thinking, well, one gentleman over in Stillville told us the reason he brought his stuff is because he knew we would take care of it, which was wonderful, because we would, and that it would be safe. So that led other people from Bourbon, Stillville, Leesburg to start bringing things in, and most certainly Cuba. We have a young man come in. He says, my mother's wedding dress is here, and she wants to make sure it's okay. And he said it's got a big full skirt, and she would just like to make sure it's okay. So thank God we had a picture of it with her name and who it belonged to. And it didn't have a full skirt, but it was okay. So he had the opportunity to look at it, kind of drew the skirt around. We laughed and said, no, it's not a full skirt. So he had to go out and tell his mom, it's okay, Mom. They got it and it's okay. So anyway, that's just one of the small little stories that, and upstairs in one of our cabinets, there are souvenirs from the World's Fair. I could never get over that. Mrs. DeWine, who that just happened to be his mother I'm speaking of, gave us a cape that her mother wore at the World's Fair. It's upstairs in the cabinet at the top of the stairs. And that's alone told me that people were trusting us. So slowly but surely, we have filled this place up. Almost too much in some respects. I want to hand some of these things around because I didn't make a speech up or anything. I just thought I'd be really lazy and just have all you people look at all this stuff instead of me trying to talk for half an hour. So with that, this is the picture of a parade. This is, oh, I will tell you about this. This is the Big Bend Schoolhouse. And Dorothy Preston, this lady that revitalized the Historical Society, and a lady by the name of Mrs. Clinton over in Stillville, they were friends. And Mrs. Clinton owned the Big Bend Schoolhouse, which is between here and Stillville. And we, the Historical Society, owned that school. And so whenever it came time for the highway department to decide that they were going to make a new road from Cuba to Stillville, that was right in the way. So it had to be moved. And instead of moving it to Cuba, it moved to Stillville. I won't even go into that. But the highway department paid the Historical Society $1,500, $15,000. Would that be right? Oh, well, anyway, it's somewhere in that area. And so that was money that we didn't have. Historical Society did not have any money. But all at once we were rich. So we didn't spend it. As far as I know, it's still in the bank. I hope Mr. Barnett is guarding it.
I hope so.
So I didn't feel like, eventually I became president after we moved in here. And we didn't have any money but that, and I didn't feel like I had earned it, so I didn't want to touch it. So I got this bright idea of sending what they call, or what I called, a begging letter. And that's exactly what it was. I sent it to, we sent it to probably 50, 60 people here in town, in Bourbon and Stillville. and explaining what we were, where we were, and we were broke, would they like to give us a dime or two? I was absolutely amazed. I will tell you that 90% of those letters we sent out, they sent us a donation. And some of those donations were very, very big. It was humbling. It really was to think you have all of this, and all at once these people are going to trust you with $400, $500, and it was just mind-boggling, quite frankly. Did I get off of the subject of the school? Anyway, it wound up in Stillville. I don't know where they put it, because we really didn't have any place here in Cuba to put it. But this is how hard the Historical Society, this is before and this is after, worked when they thought they were going to get it, and then it wound up over at Stillville. That's another story. So I'm going to leave that there. You can look at that if you wish. This is I want to mention a few names. Archie Raft is one of them. He's quite a colorful young man. Here is his story. You read that already. This is Archie's story. I don't know if you're interested in reading it or not. You read it already, I know. Does anybody? Oh, I'm going to leave it here anyway. And then we have, I thought this is kind of interesting. This is 1968, their first minutes of the Historical Society when they met for the very first time. So, and we have all their minutes up till COVID. And then we quit taking minutes because we were closed. Okay. Now, what are we going to do now? Do you know? This is, this may be a little heavy. This is how hard we worked up at the other little place when we moved in there. And I'm going to pass this around. Would you look at it and then pass it on, please?
Whoopsie.
Now, okay, this is Mr. Rapp. This is his story. He, quite a character. Thank you, buddy. I don't know if you all would be interested in reading this, but it's very, very interesting. Got your glasses?
Yep, got my glasses.
Now, I'm open for questions. Anybody? Because I don't have too much more to say, other than I will tell you that Mr. Repline, I should speak of him, was the most generous person that we've had in Cuba for a long time. He's the gentleman that bought all this territory, that built a library, gave this to the city, and whenever the library was built, it was supposed to be on the order of St. James. He liked St. James Library, so he had it built in that mode. He gave this board, and that library is misunderstood sometimes. People think the city owns it. They don't. It's owned by a governing board. And he gave that governing board $25,000 in 1968 for them to run the business of the library. And they did. So I happened to be on the library board for 30 years. That's almost too long. And When I left, we had a lot of money. And I hope they still do. But that's about the end of, as far as the museum here, there's just so much in here, it would take days to go through everything.
Did you ever hear from any of his descendants, Reckline's descendants?
I'm sorry.
Do you ever hear much from any of Reckline's descendants? Do they ever contact you? Or?
Well, you know, they didn't have any children.
Oh, okay.
And they were pretty quiet as far as, I shouldn't say they were quiet because they both belonged to, she was Masonic, or he was Masonic, and she was Eastern Star, and they had a lot to do with the Legion of whatever it is, whenever you're in the First World War, and he was the historians in there somewhere, but they didn't participate in a lot of things that would have called attention to him, except whenever he decided to give all this to the city and to the rest of the people. I'm running out of gas, so what do you want to know? Anybody want any questions? Well, here. I don't know. Well, wait a minute. What did I do with that silly thing? Oh, this is the first. Oh. One of the first.
Is Dennis still home then, or do you?
That's where my son-in-law daughter live now.
Where is that house?
If you go right here on Smith Street, you go to the very end. Right there on the left side is a big house. That's it.
That's it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Here are our guest books. We have pictures of people from all over the world that was here, that used to come here on Old 66. And one of the cutest things that happened was there were two British couples here, and they were in that room there, and they got to talking. One couple was going west, and one was going east, and they got to talking, and I'll be darned if they weren't from the same town in England.
Oh,
and it
my
was
God.
such a coincidence,
Amazing.
you know.
Wow.
But and we've had Chinese, we've had Russian that didn't know how to speak anything. So we did a lot of. Okay. Any questions at all that maybe I can answer? No? Okay.
What were some of the activities that the Crawford County Historical Society has had over the years? I know you've done fashion shows. You've done all kinds of neat things to highlight some of your exhibits.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you to bring that up because I forgot it. We had everything here. We had music. We'd have people come play guitar, trying to wake people up to the museum. But, and there used to be, at our meetings, we had quite a nice little crowd usually. But I'll tell you, and I'm not making excuses, that COVID thing really knocked us out because we had to close. And then once we started again, all the people that were here before were dead except me. I'm the only one alive. And here are some of the, there is this young gentleman. His name is Roger Tucker. He's from Sullivan. He's the gentleman that came up and brought all his obituary books and gave it to the society. That's what's on those walls in there. And we keep adding and adding and adding to them, trying to keep up with all the deaths in Crawford County. And the nice thing about all of this, the obituaries, is that people will come in, just like this gentleman here, and they'll look for their families in there, and they may find a picture or a story that they've never seen before. And so that makes all of it worthwhile.
How far back does it go?
I'm sorry?
How far
Yeah.
back does it go?
1880s.
Really?
No, I think there's some even older than that, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And at that time, though, this is kind of off of the story. At that time, though, all these people had 10 and 12 and 13 kids. And so when you went to fill those pages out, you had to take 2 pages because there
Yeah,
wasn't enough room on one page.
How long have you had that obituary?
I'm sorry?
I said, how long ago did you acquire that information from him?
In here?
Yeah, how long has that been here? A long time?
Oh, yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, we have. And, but I would appreciate it if you all would just come and look around a little bit, because there's a lot of good things, but I can't talk about all of them. So here's some cute things if you would like to pass it around. This is the Big Ben Schoolhouse. And oh, these are some of the pictures of people. And we used to have school kids. We don't have them anymore. There used to be.
That's them.
Uh-huh. Yes. Well, you must tell the people who are they. And these people here don't know who they are.
Oh.
Is that Amanda?
That's my great grandma and grandpa.
What's the name?
What are their names?
And he was the first attorney and postmaster and judge
Is that-
for Cuba.
Jameson?
Farrell.
Oh, Farrell. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so,
I've seen his picture before.
yeah.
So-
And that big bus, is that what you call it? That's up on the second
Yeah,
floor?
that's him. Oh, nice.
That's him. And so that's my grandma's mom and dad. And
Very cool.
we've been out here 22 years now, and about a year ago, I finally found their headstone because they were buried in the Presbyterian part of
This is
Kinder
where we
Cemetery.
used to be.
And my husband and I
Kids.
walked and never
Oh,
could find it, but I'm
2 and 3
looking for
times a year.
a little
But you
tiny
don't have it anymore.
block of
Because
concrete.
I
all
used to
over.
have all the-
So I
Yeah.
finally talked
Where's
to
the
Joe
big
Miller,
obituary book at?
who
Where's the
knows
big
that
obituary
cemetery
book you're talking about?
over and over, and I said, Joe,
Right
I'm
there.
looking for my great grandma
Oh, you're
and
not.
grandpa,
Oh, I know.
you know.
Oh,
He
the
goes, "What's their
obituary
name?"
books.
I
Oh,
know
the
that
black books in
cemetery.
the office in
And
there.
I said, Albert Farrell, you know, and
Known
he
about
goes,
those, I guess.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
where
there's a
that's
whole
at.
wall of
He
them.
Oh,
said-
the obituaries that this, he was
I
a
said, well,
tucker?
where is
Yeah.
it? And he
Was
said,
he the one that had
Roger,
the?
Oh,
do you
yeah.
know
The
that
Ford dealership?
huge